One of my favorite Oscar categories is Best Animated Short, and seeing its evolution over the years presents a neat look at how animation and the way we consume it has changed. Looking at its history also presents a snapshot of the Academy membership's taste and what they were looking for in an animated short. Many artists we revere got their big break thanks to this category, and it's great it still exists and is presented on the telecast. Now, the category exists primarily because there was a time when audiences would always get an animated short, along with newsreels and a live-action short with the main feature, and it made sense to create a category at the Academy Awards honoring them. And if you thought Best Animated Feature had a penchant for going to Disney, well, that's not exactly a recent trend. When the category was first introduced at the 5th Academy Awards in 1932, Walt Disney won for the innovative Technicolor short Flowers and Trees from his Silly Symphony series. Disney then won the next year for The Three Little Pigs, then again for The Tortoise and the Hare, and then again for Three Orphan Kittens, and you get the idea. Oh, other animation producers like Walter Lantz and the Fleischers were nominated, but in the 1930s, Walt Disney owned this category. One year even had Disney occupying 4 slots, ultimately winning for Ferdinand the Bull. Oscar voters sure love that bull, don't they? Eventually, Disney's streak ended in 1940, the first year he was not even nominated. MGM finally took home an Oscar for The Milky Way, which, interestingly enough, beat out the first Bugs Bunny cartoon, Wild Hare, and the first Tom and Jerry cartoon, Puss Gets the Boot. However, Hanna-Barbera's cat and mouse duo would eventually find more favor with the Academy. Tom and Jerry would win 4 Oscars in a row from 1943 to 1946, and then an additional 3 times after that. Like I said, the Academy having their animation favorites is hardly a new trend. Warner Brothers did eventually win a couple of Oscars for their Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons, beginning in 1947 with the first pairing of Sylvester and Tweety, Tweety Pie. Cartoons featuring Pepe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzales also won, but it would take until 1957 for Bugs Bunny to finally win an Oscar for Nighty Night Bugs. That long-awaited victory even inspired a Tiny Toon Adventures episode. The most surprising bit of information about WB's history with this category is that not a single Daffy Duck cartoon has ever been nominated. No, not the Hunting Trilogy or Duck Dodgers, not even Duck Amuck. It's one of the great Oscar mysteries, but I guess it's fitting when in-universe Daffy is frequently annoyed at his co-stars getting more recognition and respect. UPA also found itself a regular nominee in this category, with Mr. Magoo winning twice and the Dr. Seuss creation Gerald McBoing nabbing a win. By the end of the 1950s, the big studios started lessening production of animated shorts, leading to independent producers finding success in this category. Former Disney and UPA artist John Hubley won 3 Oscars for his shorts alongside his wife Faith Hubley. And Gene Deitch's Monroe and the Yugoslav short The Substitute became the first foreign-produced shorts to win, even beating out the likes of Disney and Warner Brothers. Another notable independent winner was Ernest Pintoff's The Critic, based on a Mel Brooks comedy routine. You also had Chuck Jones and Friz Freleng winning Oscars following their departures from Warner's, the latter taking one home for the first Pink Panther cartoon, The Pink Fink. During the 70s and 80s, the major studios had more or less abandoned theatrical animated shorts, having shut down those divisions, and we see a wide variety of artists come in with bold new visions for the medium beyond funny animals. The wins for Richard Williams with his adaptation of A Christmas Carol, and Will Vinton with his claymation short Closed Mondays established them as animators to look out for. The National Film Award of Canada's productions started winning, as did experimental fare like Frank Film, Tango, and the Sand-animated The Sandcastle. One notable animation house spotlighting a new technique appeared in the mid-80s. John Lasseter's short film, Luxo Jr., from a little studio you may have heard of called Pixar, became the first computer-generated short to be nominated. Then, 2 years later, Tintoy was the first entirely CG film to win an Oscar. And then Disney started calling, but you know the rest of that story. One name read aloud multiple times at the Oscars during the 90s was a British stop-motion animator named Nick Park, whose renditions of real people as zoo animals in Creature Comforts and the charming adventures of cheese-loving inventor Wallace and his trusty dog Gromit netted him 3 Oscars. Another well-known animation studio that got its big break thanks to its Oscar win was Blue Sky Studios, with Chris Wedge's short film Bunny. Entering the 2000s, another eclectic mix of animated shorts found success at the Oscars. Sony Imageworks' The Chub Chubs helped pave the way for Sony Pictures to open their own feature animation division. Australian animator Adam Elliott's stop-motion short Harvey Crumpet also put him on the map, and there was a bittersweet feeling to the NFB short Ryan winning. Ryan Larkin, himself an Oscar-nominated animator in 1969, had become homeless, and Chris Landreth directed this animated documentary about his life. So it was a touching cap to Larkin's career when the film won. Another noteworthy winner from this period was Logorama, which created a world entirely from logos and mascots, which definitely gained it a ton of attention. In the current decade, the Best Animated Short category seems to be honoring more heartwarming films, and even Disney is finding success in this category again, winning for the technical achievements Paperman and Feast. Beloved storybook illustrator and author William Joyce also won an Oscar for the fantastic flying books of Mr. Morris Lesmore, giving his Moonbot Studios wider recognition. But this was just a general overview of the Best Animated Short category. A couple of years ago, I actually made an effort to watch all the nominated shorts, or at least those that are publicly available, and it was a fun ride. And I also highly recommend checking out Jerry Beck's column on his Cartoon Research website, detailing the shorts considered for this category. I'll post a link in the description. Who will win Best Animated Short this year and join Chuck Jones, Nick Park, Richard Williams, Ward Kimball, Walt Disney, and other legendary artists in the history books? Well, we'll find out in a couple of weeks. See you next time.